Furstenberg. My cast includes Miss Pringle is played by Catherine Dudley, Elaine by Allison Brady, and Denham will be by Tyler Smith. And this is what happens every time you try to plan a party.
I've just received word from Mr. Harper that he was called away to the bedside of a friend who was very ill. He sent me these flowers. It's a good thing he did. I don't approve of young men refusing dinner invitations at the very last minute.
I'll take the box of paper, Mrs. Pringle.
It's too bad, after you've said it all so beautifully. And it's getting so late. Someone might be coming any moment. Where's the house cook?
Cooks in a tipper as always, madam.
I'm glad to hear it. She's like an actress. The better the temper, the better the performance. As long as she served us a good dinner, I don't care how much she swears. The rest of you can just keep out of her way. Where's Gustave?
I'm sorry to have to say it, madam, but there's such an awful blizzard out, he's sweeping off the sidewalks.
Oh, dear me, yes. I should have ordered an awning, but who expected a storm like... Elaine, help me think.
There's always Uncle George.
Oh, he never opens his head.
Mr. Morgan, madam, he always tells a joke or two.
Why, yes, Dunham. That's clever. Hello, Central? Lakeview 5971 at once, please. Oh, Elaine, dear, your hair is much too tight. Pull it out. Pull it out. Come here. Mr. Morgan's well. Yes. This is Mrs. Pringle speaking from across the street. Yes, yes. Well, I'd like you to give him a message. I'd like him to dine with us. In about 10 minutes. Oh, well, have him call me up right away. Yes. There. If he shouldn't get the message, then what'll I do?
Well, Mother, I don't have to be at the table. It's your party anyways. Everybody's married and older than I am.
Didn't I put you next to Oliver Farnsworth? Millions. He's worth millions.
Well, he won't be giving me any.
Can't he marry you? Aren't you going to try and make a good match for yourself? I fling every eligible man I can at your head. Oh, can't you finish the rest yourself?
Mother, it's no use you're trying to marry me off to anyone as important as he is. He frightens me to death. I lose my tongue. I'm as afraid of him as I'd be afraid of the Prince of Wales.
Oh, the Prince of Wales. Oh, what I wouldn't give to have the Prince in my house. Oh, New York has lost its heart to him. Why, I was just telling Mr. Farnsworth yesterday, I would give anything to have the Prince in my house. I would establish my social position for life, and I have such a wonderful reputation for being the best of hostesses. Oh, dear me, the phone. Okay. Hello? Yes. Yes. This is Mrs. Pringle. What? Oh, Mrs. Sedgwick. Oh, yes. Oh, caught in a blizzard. Can't get another car. Good. The widow can't come. Remove 2 plates, Dunham. Oh, yes, that's a shame. Oh, I'm heartbroken. Oh, how can we get along without you? Oh, but have you really tried? Yes. Oh, I'm reduced to tears. Yes, yes. Oh, goodbye, dear. There. I'm glad she can't make it. With 2 less, we can save 2 cocktails and at least 4 glasses of champagne. Hello? Central, Lakeview 5971. Yes, has Mr. Morgan come in yet? Well, don't give him the message that I told to come to dinner. It's too late, you understand? Well, I've invited Clem, returned my indebtedness, and shaved my champagne besides.
The liquor's getting low, madam, what with prohibition and entertaining
But
so much.
Mother, if we only have 12 people, Father can't sit at the end of the table.
Oh, of course. But, well, he has to sit at the head. It looks too undignified when the man of the house is
There's
fused
no
off.
other way. There must be a woman at each end.
Oh, how absurd, I always forget. Oh, of course 12 is an impossible number. I don't want to sit any of these women at the head. Oh, there's Mrs. Darby, such a cat. Oh, and Mr. Oh. Answer it, Dunham.
Hello, Mrs. Pringle's residence. A message, yes, sir. What, sir? Mr. Darby. The doctor says your baby has the chicken pox.
Chicken pox. Elaine.
Mother!
Yes, sir. Mr. Darby sends his apologies, madam. Owing to the transmutability of the disease, Mr. and Mrs. Darby feel obliged to regret, and also their house guest, Mr. and Mrs. Fleetwood.
Oh, that's 4 out.
Then you're only 8. Quick, the plate's done 'em.
Who could we get to come in at the last minute?
The Hotwoods?
Oh, they never serve drinks when they entertain. I can't afford to serve them mine.
The Greens?
Oh, she's not interesting enough.
Mr. Conley?
Oh, he never returns a dinner invitation, even after all the times I've invited him.
Hester Longley?
Not at the same table as you and Oliver Farnsworth. She's far too pretty, too clever.
Where's our book? The Tuppers?
The Tuppers. Good heavens, Elaine. 6 in the family.
That would get us back to 14, then Father could sit at the end of the table.
Well, try them. I'll go and rush to tell your father to hold up the drawing room.
Ridgeway 9325. This is Elaine Pringle. What Tupper am I speaking to? Oh, Ella, hello! I hope you haven't finished dinner yet. We arranged a party here and the last moment everybody's been dropping out. The blizzard. Can't you flock your family around the corner and eat with us? Mother and I thought we knew you well enough like this to call you at the 7th hour. You would? Oh, fine. 6 more plates, Dunham. What? Oh, but, well, Dunham, get Mother quick. Yes. Yes, of course. Yes. Certainly. Love it. All right. Great Caesar, now what have I done?
What's the matter, Elaine? What is the matter?
Now I've done it. I've just done it. But I couldn't get out of it. You weren't here, and I always lose my head and bungle things.
Don't keep us waiting like this. What is it?
I invited Elle in the family, and she accepted that. She said they had 2 house guests and wouldn't be all right. And of course I said it would, and now we're 16.
16? But madam, the table's not that long.
Oh, Elaine, this is just like you. No tact, no worldly wisdom. If I had been at the phone, I would have politely said that
But
my
you weren't at the phone. You want to attend the messages yourself. You know I always lose my head.
But the dishes, madam, and we only have 14 squabs.
I won't eat any.
But I must not be disgraced. We'll have to make the best of it and insert another board.
But Mother, I wouldn't have to be at the table.
You're going to sit right next to Oliver Farnsworth. Now, I don't wish to hear another word about it.
Yeah, but can't we squeeze them in without all the trouble of adding in another board? Maybe if we move the plates and chairs closer.
Have you forgotten that Mr. Tupper weighs something like 250 pounds? And Mrs. Conley has no waistline.
Cook's in a rage, madam. She says she's only prepared for 14.
Oh, I can't help it. Tell her she'll have to prepare for 16. Tell her to open cans of soup and vegetables and... oh...
But the ice cream forms and the gelatin molds?
I'll pretend I don't like them.
And I'll pretend I'm on a diet.
But Mother, I wouldn't have to sit at the table.
Oh, be still! Oh, the telephone. Oh, it's driving me mad. Don't answer it.
still.
Hello? Yes. What is it? What? Oh, Jessica! Jessica! Oh, the blizzard. You're cold. Yes. Oh, your husband is quite right. It would be foolhardy. Yes. Put on a mustard plaster. Hot toddy. So sorry. Good night, dear. There. We are just 14.
But the cards are all wrong. Only 6 are coming who were invited originally. We'll have to make a new diagram. How do you want them seated?
Oh,
Here are some fresh cards.
oh, what a mess. I spent hours over this diagram. Hours. So much depends on having the guests seated harmoniously. Oh, the doorbell. Donna, I told Annie to go answer it, but go peek into the drawing room and tell me who it is. Oh, you murderous instrument! What now? What have you to say? Hello? Yes, what is it? Oh, Mr. Farnsworth. Oh, Mr. No, you're his secretary. Instructed to make his excuses. He's what? Called away to Boston on very important business. Oh! How dare he? How dare he? The last moment like this. No regard for a hostess's feelings. No regard for the effort she goes to provide an evening's entertainment. And now not coming? Furious. Business. He didn't want to exert himself. Was afraid of freezing in the blizzard. Oh, and I was bound for you to meet him, Elaine, and sit next to him. I don't know when I can give you a chance like this again. Oh, not coming? Oh, I won't be treated this way.
Perhaps you really did have business and was called away.
And I, one of the most successful hostesses in this city. People clamoring to receive my invitations. All my affairs are a success. I won't have a failure. I can't have a failure. Oh, he was my most important guest. And now, not coming? I'm furious. Absolutely furious. He's such a man's man. So important financially. Why, every other man considers it an honor to meet him. And now, not coming? Oh, it's this damnable blizzard. Oh.
Now I will have to stay away from the table. His not coming makes us 13 again.
Go to bed. Go up to the nursery. I'll send you milk and crackers.
But
Oh, yes it is. If you weren't so shy and timid and perk up a bit, he would hear of your attractions from other men and be curious to meet you himself. Oh, what a family I have. No one to help me with my ambitions, and now, not coming? I'm furious. Absolutely furious. Oh, go to bed. I certainly won't sit down with 13. Go to bed.
It was Mr. Morgan, madam.
Mr. Morgan? But I telephoned his maid to tell him not to come.
He could have received your second message, madam, for I heard him explaining to Mr. Pringle how happy he was to receive your telephone invitation.
that makes us 13 again. Unless you don't want me to go to bed.
Of course not. We're back to where we started. 14, Dunham.
I'll get the cocktails ready, madam. Annie told me that there were several motors making their way through the snow. It's getting late now, and the cook's swearing about dinner getting too dry.
I won't answer it.
I should say not. Hello. Yes. Yes, this is Mrs. Pringle. Oh, Mrs. Tupper. Oh, Mrs. Tupper. Oh, but now you must come. But we're set for you. But every table is set. Yes, my daughter told your daughter told my daughter about the house guests, and we are delighted to have them. Oh, but Yes, my daughter was quite right. She had the authority to invite the guests of, oh, 8 isn't at all a big number. Oh, but how foolish of you to take that stand. I beg of you, please, please, oh, my dear, my dear? Oh, now, oh, what do you think of that? Mrs. Tupper is absolutely furious with Ella for inviting their house guests and says Ella has no tact, that nothing would induce her to bring 8 when we only invited 6, so she's leaving Ella and Henry at home. Only 6 are coming. Oh, we're 12 after all.
But if you have 12, Father can't sit at the end of the table.
I shall go mad! Mad! People ought to know whether they are coming or not. But they accept and regret and regret and accept. Oh, it drives me wild. Oh, an utter fiasco. A haphazard crowd, hurried together when I had planned everything so beautifully. Now, how shall I seat them? How shall I seat them? Oh, if I put Mr. Tupper here and Mrs. Conley there and Mrs. Tupper has to sit next to her husband and Mr. Morgan. Oh, it's impossible. I might as well just put their names in a hat and draw out random. Oh, never again. I'm through. I'm through with parties, with socializing, with friends. I wipe my slate clean. They'll miss my entertainments. They'll wish they had been more considerate. From now on, I'm going to be selfish and hard and unsociable and drink my liquor myself. Instead of offering it gratis to the whole town, I'm through with men like Oliver Farnsworth. Oh, I don't care how rich they are, how influential they are. They're nothing without courtesy and consideration and, oh, business. Off on train. Nonsense. Oh, didn't want to come. Didn't want to meet a sweet, pretty girl. Didn't want to marry her. Well, don't you marry him. Don't you dare marry him. If you tried to elope or anything like that, I'd break it off. Yes, I would. Oliver Farnsworth will never get recognition from me. He is beneath my notice. I hate Oliver Farnsworth! Ugh.
A note from Mr. Farnsworth, madam?
A note from Mr. Farnsworth?
Yes, madam. There are 2 strange gentlemen in the lower hall. They presented this letter. He said he was a secretary. All the other guests are upstairs in the drawing room. I counted 12 in all, including you, Mr. Pringle, and Miss Elaine. But the 2 gentlemen downstairs, madam, are waiting for your answer. The one gentleman's face looked very familiar, but I just can't seem to place him. Although I'm sure I've seen his face somewhere.
Seen his face! Oh my goodness, Elaine! It's the Prince of Wales!
The secretary said you cut off the telephone or Central disconnected you. He was about to tell you that Mr. Farnsworth knew that the blizzard had prevented His Highness from keeping an engagement way uptown.
Certainly. Oh, the Prince of Wales, sitting in my lower hall,
Yeah,
waiting for me.
We're 13 again.
There's the secretary, miss. He is his bodyguard.
Certainly, the secretary. Elaine, we shall be 14 to dinner. Serve the cocktails, Dunham. The guests may seat wherever they choose. I shall bring in the prince with me.
But Mother, wasn't it nice of Mr. Farnsworth to invite the prince in his place?
Didn't I always say that Oliver Farnsworth was the most considerate of men?
I think I shall like Mr. Farnsworth.
Silly child. It's too late now to like Mr. Farnsworth. It's time now to start liking the prince. Oh, somehow, I always manage to be the most successful of hostesses. Thank God for the blizzard.